And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction. It's Matt Marsh.
Yeah.
And Matt Marsh.
That guy in the middle, right there in the middle.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and if you're a child watching this show, I fear for you so much. Welcome to the train ride from hell and the nonstop to nowhere. Tonight, we're talking horror movies. So lean back, grab your favorite beverage, put your feet up, look out the window, see the signpost up ahead. It says, "Welcome to Dysfunction Junction."
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah, man.
My name is Chris Burns. With me, as always, my host, my co-founder, and depending on what state you're in, we are cohorts in many crimes in many states. What's your name, sir?
I plead the fifth. It's Chris Lynch.
Right below me is the lover of sandwiches, and he really didn't think this through. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Matt. It's Matt Marsh.
It's Matt Marsh.
It is. It
This is
is.
the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, and the best chef north of the Mason-Dixon line. It's Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up?
Yeah, baby.
Now, this is the part where you dysfunctionals have waited a long damn time. I'm stepping back. This isn't my wheelhouse, but I'm looking forward to this. Herm, can you give some introductions, please?
I can. Ladies and gentlemen, we have writer, director Michael Pickle, writer and director of a soon-to-be released movie called The Dead Place.
Yeah.
All right. And we have Kelsey Livingood, also known throughout the horror community as Mischief the Clown. She is also in Michael's movie. She plays a teacher in that movie. But what we've got is we've got two people involved with the movie. We've got a Lynch that is a fucking horror fan from hell. I've got a friend named D who came to me with a proposition for the show. And here we are.
Yes, we are.
We've got
We are
guests.
here.
We've got some great guests.
I'm going out on a limb right now, and I've got to say, we've never, not on this show or any show I've done before this, have gone to such lengths as to put on the face gimmick as Kelsey has done tonight. So
Yeah, no, she wins the
Give it up
most
for her.
involved
Give it up
for the show guest award.
Yeah, she is.
Never had,
She is what they call it in high school.
we've never had
Most enthusiastic.
anybody go to the Kiss live in concert level of showing up on the show, and that's
now you're speaking my language.
It's pretty fucking awesome. We got to be honest. It's pretty fucking awesome.
How is everybody doing tonight? Can I ask that question before I step back? Michael, Kelsey, how are you doing tonight? Starting with Michael, how are you doing tonight?
Doing really good. Finally
Awesome.
coming up on
Whoa!
the final
Yeah, that
stage
sounds like
of the movie.
that sounds like mine.
Finish it, so we're doing good.
Excellent.
It's a symphony of dysfunction. We don't have the
Right.
music anymore.
I don't have the music anymore. I got to make that sound clip, the Symphony of Dysparction. And how's
my
Kelsey
Lord.
doing tonight?
Yes.
Good deal. I'm doing well.
Dynamite dropping, Kelsey. That broadcasting school really paid off.
No, stop.
Fuck up.
All right, so here it is. We've got Michael. We've got a movie. We've shot a movie. We're shooting a movie. We are in the process. I'm assuming you're in the process of post production right now.
Yeah, it's all fully edited. Now we're just adding the music and the color correction and just all the polish.
Yeah. All the spitting, a buff and polish.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we have an anticipated release date yet?
We're trying to get out before August because this is the first movie where our star villain, David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies. This is
I was
gonna
just
be
going to
his
say,
first
absolutely. You don't know how crazy we were when we found out that we were like, Dave Thornton's in the movie. Like that's the clown dude, man.
Yeah, and he's going to be a very talkative villain, so we want to get out there before his next speaking part. So we're hoping for July, August.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm hoping that Steve in the comment section is related to Kelsey because he says, looking forward to seeing it. Tell me that's your husband.
That's my husband, yeah.
All right.
Heard Steve Winwood is in the comment section. Oh,
Stop it.
No.
Steve Winwood.
Back in the highlights
Steve.
or what?
All right, so
Steve, thank you for taking this gorgeous young lady off the market.
that's all right. So, Michael, did you write the story as a movie, or did you write it? How did the story come about? First of all.
Well, I wanted it to be a movie from the beginning. I was a musician at the time, and around 2007, 2008, I was a singer in a progressive metal band. And I had no aspirations to be a filmmaker. And I went into this haunted asylum and had this really terrifying experience where I woke up the next morning and there were demons in my bed. So it was either some kind of psychotic delusion or I really had demons in my bed. Both are pretty scary prospects to me.
Right, regardless of which one.
Yeah. So after that experience, I had this idea for a movie. I just got bitten by the filmmaking bug, and I just so happened to be working on a short film music video at the time. So all that came along about the same time, and I just dove into this script, and I stayed up till all night every night for like a week and a half, 2 weeks straight, and just wrote it all out and got it all out of me. And it was a full trilogy. It was a huge sprawling story at first, and it was way too long, way too expensive for a independent filmmaker to do. So over the years, I've split it into 3 parts, and I've just been preparing to film it all these years, and then finally felt the need to take the leap, and here we are.
Very nice. Very nice.
When did principal photography start? How far back are we talking?
That was about a year and a half ago. We were getting ready to finish it, and we would have had it finished and all filmed before the SAG strike, but we had 2 more days of filming to do. We had a couple important kill scenes, but the rest of them were really simple filler shots and stuff, just pickup shots that we didn't get the first time around. And just SAG completely shut us down for almost a year.
That sucks. But I mean, from that germ of an idea to screen, that's relatively quick for an independent guy. I feel that makes me feel really good for you that you were like that passionate about the project to get it done. You just made it happen.
Yeah, once I jumped into it and got the star Idris Villieu, and then the main villain David Howard Thornton, everything just kind of fell into place after that.
Yeah, he's such a great get. Huge fan of Damien Leone and his 2 Terrifier movies. A little bit about my background in horror. I grew up on like Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento, the Bavas, Umberto Lenzi. My dad used to work part-time for a video VHS shop. So he would get all the rentals that were broken and he would come home and fix them. And the ones the store didn't want, you were usually either horror or porn. They said, hey, you can keep those. So I had like unlimited access to all this great 80s.
So there's a lot of porn at your house, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah. But I'm more talking here about the horror, strictly horror. Porn once a week.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Once a week.
So I had unlimited access to all this stuff. I mean, what kind of directors was, let's say, your spirit guide in how you attack filmmaking?
Well, I started out with mainly Wes Craven and John Carpenter mostly, because movies like In the Mouth of Madness, just the beauty of it, just like the dark beauty, the poetry of it, and just the type of filmmaker who can make a good story and good acting and a dynamic film and still have it fun and gory and in your face. So right. I love filmmakers like that.
Right, and that is probably his most unsung work. One of my favorite Carpenter movies. It's like probably number 1, because it's not what you would typically expect out of him. And he went full beauty art school mode on that movie, and it really showed. Like, to me, if I were to aspire, it'd be like a guy like Sam Raimi, shoestrings and spit. holding shit together. You know, I mean, my theory is I think Carpenter, Raimi, and maybe other couple contemporary Americans like Wes Craven really started the independent horror scene because they were all on their own, and they paved a lot of roads for guys like you who it makes it possible to pursue. Just, hey, I want to write a story and make it a movie. You do that with broad comedy or a drama. It's even harder. I mean, the horror genre was basically all independent guys. So there is a huge network where you can help each other out, and it makes me appreciate the work that you do because I'm such a horror geek. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
And I'm really holding on to that independent spirit too, because you know a lot of studios have gotten a hold of horror because it's become such a popular genre, and they put this big budget polish on their films. I like something more gritty and in your face, you know.
Well, I think the public. I think.
Oh, we lost Kelsey.
She's like, screw these guys.
I think they found some slick formulaic concepts, and I think they push a lot of that. There's some very formulaic bullshit that they push. Like I said, jump scares, shit like that. There's a lot they can do with green screen, and I see a lot of the audience is more caring about whether the effects are insane or they're not really caring about the actual acting, what it takes to actually make some really good practical effects happen. I feel it's just kind of dumbed down formulaic, and they can put a bunch of mediocre people's wants in a seat.
But what happened is that they figured it out that horror movies were really popular, really cheap to make, and they made a ton of money. So as horror popular, the bigger studios are like, I'll throw some shit that way. And then they took off. And that's when the horror formula changed, was in the 80s and 90s.
And that's exactly when Wes Craven showed his ass and made Shocker. I love that movie. You guys know I love that movie. Michael, now you know I love that movie. But god damn, Wes Craven was a genius until somebody threw a couple $1 million at him and he made Shocker.
We're also looking at that lens, that movie through a 35-year lens.
No, I looked at it in a 1990 lens when I was
sitting
I know,
it wasn't
the
great,
fucking theater.
The problem is it hasn't aged well at all. Like, unfortunately the quality of green screen in 1990 was piss poor, at best, and without a really crazy budget like they didn't have, it's much easier to green screen everything than to pay an effects team to come in and
understood
make that blood look.
In the comments section, Glendon and Kyler, as soon as Kelsey comes back, I will share your comments. Thank you for joining us tonight.
There she is.
Live in the comments section. She is back.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to ask Kelsey.
See if I can stay. My internet's not.
It's all right. It's all right. If you pop in and out, we're good. No worries.
I got a couple comments before you go on, please. I just want Kelsey to know these comments. Glendon says, Kelsey, you are so cute. Kyler says, hey, Mischief, and hey, Michael, good to see you again. My niece Kayla is watching. Hello, Kayla, and thank you. You and Kyle are awesome. And
D
says,
right
hey.
now.
D is the one that made all this happen, so thank you. Tip of the hat to you and a swig of beer to you, my girl. Go ahead with your question for Kelsey.
Kelsey, same question. What was it that got you into the whole horror thing?
I think the very first horror film I ever watched was House on Haunted Hill. The black and white, you know.
Oh, nice. that's some excellent
the real one.
Yeah, and it
That's
scared the
fantastic.
absolute hell out of me.
Yeah. No blood, no gore, no nothing, and those movies could scare the living hell out of you.
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Yep. That
So-
kind of got me into horror. I have always kind of had that background thought in my mind of like, how is that made? I would love to just watch how that's made. So that kind of got me into film, like filmmaking as I got older.
That's really, really cool. Very nice. So, at what point did you figure out that you liked it a lot and you wanted to make a career out of it? And you wanted to use that road to do your life thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very nice. All right.
Speaking
So,
of question.
Yeah, speaking of budgets, Michael, being an independent, did you like crowdsource this, like Indiegogo? How tell us about the budget and how you make it happen.
Yeah, a little over half of it's crowdfunded, and then the other half is private investors.
That's
Just,
amazing.
Fans we got along the way. I kind of jumped into the crowdfunding thing. I figured if it was going to be a public kind of crowdfunding thing, I'd throw myself in there. So I'd throw videos up of me singing, and videos up with me and my daughter talking about news about the movie coming up. So I really put myself out there. So it ended up like attracting a lot of people who felt my passion for the movie, and they wanted to be involved. So I got just the right people involved, and got the money we needed. And I started it out way too ambitiously because I think the system is set up to where guys on my level can't really make a high quality movie with really good acting because they make it impossible to get that cast. So
Right.
the producers thought I was crazy with picking this dream cast. Some of them were union, some of them were non-union, some of them were out of town that I had to fly in.
That's on my question list. That's literally one of the questions. We'll get to it. Finish what you're saying, and I'll ask the question when you're done.
Well, it was about finding not just good actors, but actors that were just right for those parts. Like I didn't want to narrow my choices down to just people in LA. I wanted to look all over the country,
Right.
And I just wanted to go all out from the beginning. So everyone thought I was crazy going so ambitious with the cast, hoping that everything would fall in, because the goal we initially started off with wouldn't even have paid for the actors.
Wow.
So I just
Wow.
jumped into it head first.
Well,
Just
that's
kinda hoping
one
it
of the
would fall in.
questions. It's secure. The notes are securing talent. The notes are securing talent. What the fuck made you go with such a highbrow cast? And what made you think you could pull that? You know what I mean? Like, bro, you like walked up to the hottest chick at the bar, and you took her home. And all your friends are like, "What the fuck?"
What just happened? Yeah, Michael, I definitely understand that with the whole pay scale thing, because depending on where you fall as an actor in your like resume, you're not going to get. You want quality. Well, it was unfortunate that you were like thinking with your wallet.
Go, how the fuck did I pull this off?
All right, I have a question. Because you mentioned music, and that's my wheelhouse. I'm wearing my Lizzie Borden T-shirt right now because it's the only thing I have close to horror right now. So when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. When you go about choosing the music for the film, what is it like? Do you go for shock rock or ominous music? What is it? I'm interested in how the sausage is made, as Herm said earlier. How do you go about picking the music for your film?
Well, I was a former musician, as I said before, so I have a lot of friends in the business. So we had a pool of bands, of artists that we had to choose from, and we picked a handful of songs from each artist we thought would fit the movie. And we sat there and watched the movie scene for scene, and we just picked the ones that fit the most. And it just so happened to be 3 songs from this band, Sabrosa Pur. It's a band that I met back in 2006, 2007. They opened up for 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto's band. And I
Nice.
met him then, and they ended up coming and opening up for my band, and we became close friends. And just over the years, I had really just loved his music. His music is still on my heavy rotation. And then when I started making this movie, it just fit the movie so well. The entire opening title sequence is one of his songs. And then we picked 2 other songs. And then we were approaching, well actually this famous composer approached us. I can't see who it was, but he composed the music for one of my favorite horror films. And I was stoked to have him.
That there's a secret composer.
Yeah. So I was
just that alone is like, yo, I'm going to give you this, but you can't tell anybody on the phone I did this. Do you promise that? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's
I was hoping he would be involved, but he's in his 80s now, and once he saw the movie, he saw a very much rock vibe to it. Like it's like a heavy, dark indie rock vibe to it. So he suggested. He said he loves the opening song so much. He suggested that we incorporate that song into the score throughout the entire movie, or even approach the band. So I actually approached the guy Will Love from Sabrosa Pur, and he was very stoked to do it. He gave me some samples of some score that he'd been experimenting with. It was not only excellent score work, but it was almost exactly what I pictured in my head for this film. So it was like it was meant to be. So this movie is very seeped in music from the beginning.
I like it, and I'm going to shift gears again. I'm going to be kind of in the background because Lynch, big horror fan. Herm, he's the guy. This isn't my wheelhouse, but I have to ask Kelsey. When I look at the horror genre, I don't see a lot of females being so immersed, and I'm looking at you dead in your eye right now. You got the contacts in, you got the makeup on. I've looked you up a little bit as we've come into this week. Coming to this show, how did you get involved in all of this?
Just in like the horror genre in general, or
the horror genre. You know, I've seen some of the modeling pictures. Just I see you, and it's very horror centric. Please help me with this.
So I actually started as a haunt actor, probably around 13 years old, which involves heavy makeup, heavy effects, all weekend long. I kind of fell into being a clown working at a haunted house, and I kind of just stuck with it. I really liked that clowns can say pretty much anything. I can get away with saying anything, and it's fine. Zombies, you can only have a clown. Zombies have
John Wayne Gacy said the same thing.
So what she's saying is I'm a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Because I say everything with no fucking filter, and everybody's like, I'm like, what? Well, you just wish you wanted to say it. I just did it.
Sure, Mr. Gacy. I'd love to go to your tiki
God,
bar.
I need to be a fucking clown.
Yeah. It's fun. I love
it. Continue, please.
So how long you been doing that now,
Is that
Kelsey? Doing the whole clown and actress gig. How long?
Yeah, how did Mischief the Clown become a thing? Was there other clowns before Mischief, but with other personalities that you tried, or did this one just come right from the start? Was there I'm trying to think of
Herm,
right
Pogo was her first choice, yet a guy in Illinois kind of screwed that up for everybody.
I started out as Pogo Stick the Clown. It just didn't work in the horror genre. How did Mischief just happen? Or was there like a development of characters for her to become her?
No, so I was what we call a floater. That sounds terrible out loud, but I was a floater at the haunted house. So I was kind of whatever they decided that I was going to be for the night.
So she was a ghost.
Yeah, sure. I played in the asylum a lot. I was a butcher a few nights. It was kind of wherever they wanted me to be. And
right. Chef, turn on.
Kevin
What?
Penner, thank you. Mischief says hi too, because there you are on the screen.
Hey.
And Bobby Reed.
Yeah, so they kind of just put me upstairs to help another actress kind of get her footing in the haunted house. And so I said, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be a clown. That sounds really dumb. And they were like, go up there and help her. So I went up there. I asked her what her clown name was, and she said it was Trouble. So I got out my handy dandy phone and said,
whipped out a digital thesaurus.
yeah, synonyms for trouble. And Mischief came up, and I was like, Mischief is cute. I love that. Let's go with that.
That's how I write show titles. What's another name for asshole?
You're like, what's a more creative word for this word? Yeah, that's kind of what I did. And then,
That's great. That's great shit.
yeah, we just we kind of played off of that, and then I told my manager at the haunt, I said, I'm never going to be anything else. Mischief is just it. That's my character.
That is who I am as the character from here on out.
Yep, and I never went back. That was about
right.
like 8 years ago, eight or 9 years ago.
That's awesome.
And how did you and Michael connect? That's another one of my questions. I have one more question for Michael after you, Kelsey, and then drop back and listen. I'm so engaged in what you guys are saying. I'm getting excited about.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, did Michael know her and know that it was like she's pretty perfect for the role? Did she try out? And I'm curious how that came to be as well.
Michael,
that's your question, Kelsey.
My question. So you guys are a little choppy on my end, so I'm kind of just piecing together what you're asking me.
All right, let me try. Let me try it again. How did you get in touch with Michael, or how did Michael get in touch with you? And then I'm going to go to Michael after that.
I honestly don't remember, which is horrible.
That's helpful.
It's been a while.
I don't know. I got the job, bro. I don't know how it happened. Well, I got the job. Michael, how did you decide that Kelsey was right for your movie?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
Right.
I'm getting feedback. Chelsea's feedback on me.
He's getting
get out of here and come back.
Are you going to duck out and come back in?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. It's an interesting question, only because you said you've been doing this for 8 and change years, and now you're in this film as the teacher, which I'm looking forward. I've never looked this forward to a horror movie since La Llorona, because I'm a thriller guy. I like, comedies, war movies, mafia movies, and the occasional, it scares me a little bit. Again, the horror genre died for me when Wes Craven showed his ass and made Shocker.
No, I like shit that makes my wife not able to go to sleep when we go to bed. After she sat there and watched it, like watching The Witch. like, watch The Witch and then go to bed, and your wife just lays there in bed like this.
I would show my daughter the Conjuring series, and then she's in her room. I'm in mine when she's staying here, and she comes upstairs. Emma would come upstairs and knock on the door. Dad, you really don't think that could happen here, do you? No, Emma, go to sleep. Take a Valium. You're good. No.
All right, Michael, how do we sound?
That's what my dad did to me. Michael, are you good?
Yeah.
All right. So how did you and Kelsey come together, and how did you meet, and how did she get pulled into the movie?
I'm not sure exactly how we got connected on Facebook, but I started recognizing her Misfit the Clown persona around, and she had approached me and asked me if there was any parts in the movie, and just the idea bulb started going off. So I started seeing a way that she could play the teacher, and I can't give it away, but she's also going to use her clown persona in this movie. And I thought it was great that we.
Well, I was going to ask that as well. I know she plays the teacher, but I was kind of wondering if you pulled a dual personality to her role and let her bring that clown out.
I just love the idea of having David Howard Thornton in there, who plays Art the Clown, and then Bill Oberst Jr., who plays Papa Corn the Clown in Circus of the Dead, and then have Kelsey in there, and she's the only one that actually appears as a clown.
Can I just say something out loud? When I was a kid, all the teachers looked like Sylvester Stallone. If any of the teachers in my day looked like Kelsey, I might have paid more attention in school.
Where's that background noise coming from?
You?
No.
Somebody's got like the news on or something.
I was like, somebody's got Lynch is listening to voicemails during the show, apparently.
Lynch, stop it.
This was pretty important. Sorry.
Oh, it's all
okay.
right.
Sorry. If it was important, then it should have happened before the show.
All right. So does your movie have a specific message?
There you go.
It does center around bullying, but I didn't want to go with the typical bullying message. So I put a main character who's a really strong character and has got a really strong and good family life, and put him with these bullies who don't realize that they're bullies. So things aren't so black and white. They actually resent being called bullies. So it's all about that and also being misdiagnosed. Like it's about a lot of people being misdiagnosed and giving too many drugs. So it's about this kid who's misdiagnosed, where his parents think something's wrong in his head, but he actually does really see dead people walking around. And
Almost
they're
jibe
really
at the medical system that is so easy and happy to push a pill on somebody to make somebody's life better.
Yeah, and this is a scenario where, what if parents have a trouble like that with their kids and it's actually real? There's actually really a demon that's attached to this kid.
One of the things that, as someone who has clinical depression, my dad passed away 2 months ago. It'll be 2 months in about, 7 days, Herm, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And he's appeared in my dreams, but he appears in childhood memories. But in the dreams, he's 74 when he passed. And I'm 51, which I am now. And we're sitting in places that I was at when I was 12 years old. And I don't know how that works. I'm not into the whole dream, your dream means this. I don't care. I'm just glad I got to see him again. But when people have told me in the past they've seen demons, we've had people on this show that do paranormal experiences, like Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal and others, that you go in and you hear these voices and these sounds and this and that. I can't help but think that, it's never happened to me, but it has to be real. Have either of you two experienced that?
Well, I did just the experience that gave me the idea for this. Where I
was going to say, like, that was technically your epiphany on this whole project, right? Your eye-opening moment was when that regardless of what and how, that was your experience.
I mean, to this day, looking back on it, it's still very real to me. They were flesh and blood right there, and I can remember all the little details of them sitting there in the bed with me. And I wonder if it was a psychotic delusion. Why did nothing ever happen like that before or after? And was it really such a strong mental suggestion being in that haunted place, strong enough to put that vivid image in my mind? The whole thing just confuses and baffles me.
Understood. And I'm going to ask the same question of Kelsey in regard to, having paranormal experiences. But Herm, can you do me one favor? Can you bring her to the main thing and put us all on the side, like that thing you did during burning down the house? I want everybody to see the makeup. No, not you, fat ass. There we go. So, can you tell me about a paranormal experience you might have had that helped you along your way in this genre?
I don't know if it's necessarily helpful, but I was in Clown Motel 2, and we filmed that at the actual Clown Motel, which is in middle of nowhere, Nevada.
Yes, it
It's
is.
built on like 1890s, like a 1890s cemetery.
It's an old
Um,
cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I mean it's so old that they
That's
use
that's
regular
that's
keys.
literally like an hour and a half flight from me here.
Is it? It's great. If you haven't stayed
Like,
there,
Yeah, like Vegas is a $59 Southwest flight from here in Colorado.
there you go.
That's how
Do it.
close it is.
I
It's
usually
like
save this for
something-
Wednesday nights, but shut up, Herm.
That's all right. I'm good.
It's in Tonopah, Nevada, so it's like I want to say it's like 3 hours from Vegas, which is not terrible. But it's so old that they use regular keys to get in and out of your room, so it's not like the digital keys we have everywhere else. And we stayed there for about a week. My door kept locking itself. You have to use the key to lock it. We were just leaving the rooms unlocked because we were, filming. But I left. We left. We went to another location for another week. I get home and I'm unpacking my suitcase, and the key that I turned in at the end of the trip was in my suitcase.
Oh, hell no.
No, that just means that the ghosts like you and they want you back, girl. That's all that means.
I guess I was
That
like,
means
so
I
I
got
called
ghost
the hotel.
friends now.
I called them to be like, I did not steal your key. They're like, no, we know. We watched you turn it back in. I said, well, I have it.
Don't worry about it, honey. The ghosts put keys in all kinds of people's luggage. What the fuck?
It's
I told
okay,
them.
baby. Just keep going.
Yeah, I
Wow.
It's hanging out at my house.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Unbelievable.
That
Guys,
definitely,
before
that definitely beats the green woman in the basement stories. That definitely.
I
beats the-
didn't get to see the green woman. I'm kind of upset, Herm. I really am. I gotta go back to your old house. I
The
want to
house
see the
in
green
Connecticut,
woman.
There was the green lady. Chen called it, and there was somebody lived in that basement. She was
Watching this
she was
show.
benevolent, but she lived in the basement.
If you're watching this show, I want you to take a quick look at Miss Kelsey. See the work she put in on putting her face on today to give you this interview. I was expecting regular Jones. Nope, she went balls to the wall.
Yeah, no,
Thank
I
you so much.
I wasn't sure actually. I wasn't sure if I was expecting, like on the street Jones or like in the studio Jones. But
we got
in the
full on
studio
Jones.
Yeah.
So it's I was very happy. I was like, oh, I was wondering if
I
he's
expect to
gonna make
see
it
when I follow Michael and Kelsey. When I follow Michael and Kelsey on Facebook after this interview, I want to see them both use the Jones as
That's
it
right.
is meant to
That's
be.
the Jones. You
I
gotta
feel
use
like
the Jones.
underdressed Jones.
All right,
should.
Michael. So are we going straight to DVD here, or are we having? Or will you be having a limited independent theatrical release?
Yeah, well, we have 5 or 6 distributors interested, so I'm telling all of them it's no deal unless we get a theatrical release. And if we stream, I want to stream on Shudder. So I want to stream on Shudder because they're more a curated streaming service.
Ooh, nice.
And
Dude,
I definitely
I-
want to do a
I-
physical
that's-
release.
That's my shit. I pay for
That's
that.
awesome.
One of the few that I pay for.
Yeah.
We used to get it for free, and then they took it away, and now I pay for it. So yeah, I'm all over a Shudder. That would be awesome.
Shudder's great.
We literally have a watch party, guys. That would be awesome. We'll do another
There you
show
go.
just on the movie. It's just on the movie. That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, that's good shit.
When you spoke of the music earlier, and as a musician, first things first, I very much would like you to share some later on, some of the bands and some of the music that you were talking about earlier. But when it comes to, again, I want to know how the sausage is made. What kind of music are you looking for when trying to build the suspense, the drama, when the knife goes in, as it were, for a horror film? What kind of music are you looking for?
Well, my tastes lean toward indie rock and metal, so it tends to go that way just instinctively. Yeah, but then I also go just with whatever feels right for the movie itself. So this one we ended up going for Sabrosa Purr, which is like some darker ambient sounding indie rock, and then there's Nyctophile, which is a full-on metal band, like a thrash metal band. There's some of that in there when things really heat up in the film. There's Happy Dwarf. It's another indie rock band. Or Evasey. He's a rapper. It's got some really dark sounding hip hop in there. And then there's a horror rapper named Poltergeist OD is going to do the Dead Place theme song. I like those songs in the 90s where they had a theme song for the movie play at the end credits. So I got Poltergeist OD making a Dead Place theme song for the.
That's nice.
That's pretty fucking badass right there.
Pretty fucking badass. I got to be honest.
I'm gonna pop 2 members of the panel. There'll be no talk of Vinnie Vincent
That's right.
at all.
That's right.
I don't care about Nightmare. What was the movie? Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Vinnie Vincent, my ass.
Lick, gotta have some questions.
If you're in the comment section, you got questions, please send them in. Marsh, you got anything?
I had a question, just something small about something he said earlier when he was gathering talent together. Did you have any issues with the union, non-union folks coming together, or were there any kind of disputes?
I'll be right back.
Get it?
No, not really.
Keep it going.
The actors all had a deep respect for each other, and there was a lot of friendships formed on set. And I think the more experienced SAG union actors had a lot of respect for these young actors because they saw how much raw talent that they had, and they loved nurturing them and showing them the ropes and giving them pointers. So it was a really collaborative experience all the way around. But SAG as a union, they gave us a lot of trouble. they like, for instance, they usually charge 40% of all the payroll as a deposit, right? They charged us 100% of the payroll, so we had to pay all of our payroll twice in order to make this movie.
Jesus.
Wow.
And we still haven't gotten that deposit back either.
Yeah, it's legalized extortion.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, that's fucking bullshit. It's like you're bonding and licensing and insuring yourself at that point, because you're your own insurer. I mean, because that's ludicrous. I mean, I get it. I understand that they want to make sure they're getting that the actors and everybody in the union is going to get paid. I get that. But when you're asking double the fucking budget,
like you said, it's extortion.
It is.
Yeah.
It's legalized extortion.
And they use the excuse like they don't trust us as a lower budget production to pay these actors.
I've heard. I have a slight connection to the movie industry. It's very distant, but I know about how a lot of the sausage is made, as Chris keeps saying.
I know. I came in. What did they do? Make him bond? Did they make him bond?
They made him pay. They made him double the payroll. They made him double the payroll to cover it. So I know a little bit about behind the scenes.
Yeah, I can understand the bonding part of it, but the if they didn't trust you, then put good faith money down and then you get it back later. But it doesn't sound like that's how that went.
No. And they really bully the little guys because they know they can, because these guys want to get their movies made, and that's the unfortunate part. That's the part that pisses me off. And I'm sure that there have been stories where a smaller independent guy has cast over the past. It had to have happened at least once. So I get it, but that's been right over the barrel twice.
And we had a really bad rep too, where she wouldn't answer us any of our questions. And we asked about a set teacher because we have some underage talent. We asked about a stunt coordinator. So we got our own set teacher and got our own stunt coordinator and already had them all set up. And then literally 2 days before, they said, no, you have to get a professional one. They have to get paid this amount. It threw a big wrench in things at the last minute.
Yeah, because you find out on Monday where you're shooting for the next week. You can't just go, oh no, it's okay. You can rearrange your entire shoot
a lot of stuff
schedule around this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, and that brings up a question. That brings up a question on my end. Kelsey, you were an actor or actress. I don't want to assume anything.
I think they're all actors now, aren't they?
Aren't they? I don't know.
She was talent.
I'll let Kelsey answer that. So you acted on the film. What was your experience with, Michael's got this film. he says, Kelsey, you want to be in this film? Yes, I'd love to be in this film. Sorry, that's not my best impression.
Jesus.
But
That's pretty much
My-
how it. Yeah.
She's
my
heard worse.
my Dr. Fauci impression is much better, but I'll leave it there. You get this call. Hey, would you like to be on this film? Yes, I'd love to be on this film. Okay, rock and roll. Were there any roadblocks? Were there any speed bumps in the road dealing with Michael? And if not, just say so, please.
No, no roadblocks at all. His communication was fabulous. I flew in from Nebraska. That's where I'm based out of.
She's from Nebraska.
Yeah, I had never been to LA. So
Go Huskers, I guess.
It was fun. No roadblocks at all. Everything was super organized, and I think I told it might have been Angel Bradford. I was like, wow, there's like actual food on set. This is fabulous. This does not
These
have
guys got an actual caterer on set.
Craft services for the win.
See, as a 4-star chef, I can completely the points you get just for that alone.
Yeah.
Is immeasurable. Because I don't do anything without providing food. I don't care.
I hear you.
You'd be surprised how some indie is not as great.
Yeah, here's your Mars
so is
bar.
this
Have
your-
a great day.
Right? Was this your first film, Kelsey?
Nope. Mm-mm.
No, she's.
What else have you been in?
I've been in Clown Motel 2. I'll also be in Clown Motel 3. Staycation. Babezilla versus the Cyber Skanks. I just got done filming that.
Nice.
Which is
I
like
love it already. It's my
it's-
favorite already.
I'm not paying attention. I'm Googling something real quick, guys. Hold the fuck on.
it's
Send it to me, Herm. Send it to me.
it's a long
If
list.
it's on
a long-
Amazon, I'm watching that shit tonight.
Tonight, I need
What
Babezilla
was it?
right now.
Babezilla. Oh shit.
I love it.
Wow.
It's my favorite movie ever now.
Beautiful. Herm, what are you
Let
doing?
me
Nothing.
give
I'm Googling shit.
let me give credit where credit is due. The horror genre has always had some of the best titles ever.
Yeah.
And to hear what you just said out loud in front of people, I'm done. I'll watch that movie twice if I have to. If it gets you a little bit extra scratch in your pocket because I watched it on Amazon twice, good.
Bro, that's the whole. Look, it's the whole reason I love rubber.
One of the best modern indie horror
One of
movies
the
ever.
best fucking movies ever made for psycho thrillers and horror movies. It's just
So I
rubber.
have a question
Right.
for both of you. I have a question for both of you guys. Michael, how was it working with David Howard Thornton on your film? I mean, because to me, he fucking
care
terrifies the
about
shit out of me as Art the
Just-
Clown.
I'd have just
Like-
fanboyed him every day and like got nothing done.
Like how,
Uh,
that
it was-
on-screen persona, how like I'm sure he's so far away from that. It's not even. It's ridiculous. But is it intimidating working with a guy like that who let like you hopefully will obscurity to whoa?
No, he's the type of guy who makes you comfortable really quick. And he done the same thing with everybody on set. Like between takes, he would tell stories or do an impression or do a bunch of impressions, you know. So that was really fun having him on set. And as far as an actor, is one of the best actors I've ever worked with. Just the way he embraced the material. And even some of the producers asked me, are you sure that this villain doesn't talk too much? And I said, no, a guy like David Howard Thornton can handle this. And the way he transformed, he's such a goofy character and loves to make everybody laugh between takes. But when he slips into that evil character, he's really grimy. And he told us that he patterns his character in this movie after a jackal,
Well,
where Art the Clown is more of a vulture, where he patterns this one after a jackal.
well,
Wow.
the thing is,
I can totally see that.
you can see it with Art the Clown. His facial expression is extremely cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
like almost inappropriate
so
for the scene.
well, no, it's completely conveying the idea that the expression wants you to think he's feeling.
Yeah.
So I can see why that cartoony aspect of his character and who he is and how he acts would be great with a very low actual lines roll. You can watch Terrifier and know kind of where he's thinking and where he's at with the sound off.
Yeah.
So I can totally see why and how he would fit in to a very non-speaking role, but just expressive. And I mean, even harder in Terrifier to express emotion facially when all you have is black and a couple of smudges of white and some black lipstick. It's all of the cues, it's all covered. So I could totally see why you would be like, it's just going to work. I think he's totally going to fucking nail that. I've already seen it. I've just seen him do it with speaking.
Yeah, and then in the film, he's mostly just him without a lot of makeup or anything. It's just him, but he does morph into a demon. He has this big gnarly jaw with a bunch of teeth. So he comes out with that jaw, and it's pretty scary when you see it on film, and the way he uses it too. But then there was this big kill scene, like a big massacre in the film, and he came up to me and he said, "Michael," he said, "I know I'm supposed to wear the big gnarly scary jaw." He said, "But could I just not have the jaw and just use my face?"
I was going to say, just do it looking like a human, just doing like a person.
Yeah, so I trusted him. I said, yeah, because I wanted that big scary jaw to be killing everybody. But when he came up with the idea of not having it, I trusted him as an actor to do it, and he really nailed it. And so it's one of the best scenes of the movie now.
Yeah, it's great.
I get that. I get
great
that.
when talent has that kind of idea.
I watched a stage version of The Elephant Man once. And it was a stage version done with no makeup. And that's kind of what the story reminds me of. Is I watched it, and halfway into that play, your head forgets and doesn't see him as a person anymore. He's grotesque, and there's not an ounce of anything other than just regular stage makeup, for color and to work with the lights. But you believed that he was so hideous in that role with no makeup. It just made it a very powerful scene and a very powerful show. And I can see how that scene, sans makeup and sans the additional prosthetic, it allows him to. I can see where that's more powerful. It allows the audience to transform his face in their head, because they've seen it before, but they don't actually have to see the physical jaw.
And some of your best horror, horror villains are villains that aren't in makeup. I mean, one of the earliest that hits me is Anthony Perkins in Psycho. You believe that guy is crazy just by looking at him and his performance. You don't have to throw on makeup to make him scary. Just him existing is the scary part, and that's the kind of horror movie I enjoy. Where, cool, makeup's cool. I love makeup. I'm a big Tom Savini fan. One of my best friends growing up went to school to learn how to do it. Big into that. I'm big into practical. But when you can do it without all that extra gimmick on your face, that's really impressive to me. I'd rather be scared because holy shit, this guy could potentially exist. Like, holy shit, that scares me more. It scares me more that there are people like that walking around right now.
Right, that doesn't look like something that isn't an actual thing. That looks, and all of that
could be my neighbor.
Person is the guy 2 doors down that my son mows the lawn for. But that's great shit. That's great shit. I had a question and I lost it.
Matt, you got anything else down in your corner?
Not right off the top of my head.
Oh, I wanted to know specifically what are from both of you for right now from Michael. What are some of your favorite horror movies?
Favorite horror films? They have to be ones like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, Evil Dead.
Which version
Yeah,
of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
the original, of course.
Oh, I was gonna say because we're fucking judgmental here.
We're mental. Already.
There's only one right answer to that, Michael.
There's only one right.
You passed.
The original. Duh.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what would you say is your favorite horror movie?
I'll give you my top 3, and they're all very different. Trick or Treat, the anthology.
Love it.
Final Destination.
Love
3,
it.
the third one, whichever one the roller coaster one is.
The one
Yeah.
with the log truck.
That's
The one with the log truck, exactly.
three.
And Scream.
That's
People
a very
can't drive
solid,
down the highway
very
about
solid picks.
now because of that movie.
Yeah,
What are you
right.
doing? I'm pulling over. I'm gonna let him go far down the road ahead.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I got to get off this exit right now. We're
What are
not
you doing? I'm just pulling under this bridge for a minute. I need to check something, like my light.
Yeah.
And
I walked in at the really, really, really wrong time.
You did always.
a
What
good
was
point.
the
I'd like.
question?
I was asking them their favorite horror movies, and one
Damn
of
it!
her,
I was going to ask the same question.
and see, here it is. See, even Dee says it. Dee says, she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll pull over." Like we were talking
Are we
about.
talking
horror.
about Final Destination?
three
Yeah.
with the log truck, and how nobody
Brr.
can drive down the fucking highway now. And I'll be like, I just got to pull over for a second because I value.
You
my
guys know. You guys know I live on the road. What I do is on the road 39 hours a week. I'm in the office 1 hour a week. If I get behind a log truck, I'm gone. F
man,
that
look.
sideways.
pull up to McDonald's
Do we
and
have
get
a lot of
soda.
log trucks here?
Yes?
On a highway through you? You get a lot of timber coming down from Maine and going down
Okay.
south.
coming down through
Yeah,
95.
Get on 395, 91, 84. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Nope,
we got a
there's not
shitload
a-
of it out here.
There's
We got
not a day
shitload
that
of
goes
log
by.
trucks out here in Colorado, bro.
I was going to say
Who-
Colorado.
wait,
Yeah.
Did both of them say Final Destination?
No,
Because-
just Kelsey did.
Okay, because I'm going to say this. When I'm on 91 and there's a lot of logging trucks going down 91 here in Connecticut, I will move. It's a 4-lane highway. I will move way over here just to not be behind them. And then I saw this thing. My daughter said, "Oh, you can get this app and you just point it at the truck. It'll tell you how many logs are on there." I'm like, "Great, Emma. Thank you." So I know how many logs are going to kill me in about 35 fucking minutes. Great.
See, the
Thank you so much.
On a car, I'm pulling out of the way, but on the motorcycle, I want to drive up and touch the log. It's
Because you're crazy.
sorry. I'm
No.
sorry. I literally want to drive up and just touch the log and then
I
back
touched
off.
the wood. I touched
Um,
wood on the highway.
I do
All right.
shit like I touch mirrors on a highway and shit when I go by just because.
I got to know Michael's answer. What was Michael's answer for favorite horror movie?
I was saying Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, The Exorcist.
I love Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, both of you? Have you ever seen Blood Beach, and why? If you have seen it, why is that an awesome horror movie?
Seen it when I was really, really young. That's the old one.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think
I was 8 when I saw it. Yeah.
What was the
they
title?
used to Blood Beach.
Oh, okay.
So something I want to say to you, Michael, as our independent horror film director, I am so glad that you're sticking with horror at its roots. Horror throughout the mid 2000s through up until about a couple of years ago was a very painful road for me to navigate with all this found footage bullshit. The only movie that it worked with me, and it hurts me to say, is Paranormal Activity, the very first one. That first one was very well done. Because I believe
that'll
it
shake
was
the
happening.
asshole out of you.
It was
And I prefer the unused ending, the darker ending, much better than the one they stuck with in the theater.
Absolutely.
Me too.
But everything around that whole genre just.
But everything
it was-
after the first one was just
I'm talking genre as a whole. It was the same movie, just insert different pretty faces here, and change settings here. It's like I want to see more of that, and I'm glad to see that a guy like you has had the opportunity and the showcase to make a horror movie like the way I'm sure you and I grew up watching horror movies, old school horror, practical effects, which is big for me. I can understand CGI filler and touch ups and make it a little bit brighter. I got it.
Is watching Nosferatu.
Can you imagine? I don't know if not anybody on this panel has ever seen the movie, but Lucio Fulci's Zombie, where they pull this girl into a head, into a splinter, through an eyeball, up close, and it takes 2 minutes to happen.
Oh yeah, it's
They
in slow
will lose
motion.
their fucking mind when they see a puppet that is just convincing enough. Italian horror, so it's about 60% there convincing, with this buckets of red, bright, vivid blood pouring out of the eye socket. They would lose their fucking shit. That's what we grew up on in horror movies, and that's where I want to see we go back and get rid of all this found footage things. And I hope that you can appreciate that sentiment. I'm kind of throwing your way, man, because this is the horror that
He says that movie was wild as fuck.
Yeah, I was going to go to that just now. I'm going to tell you, I watched a convicted killer get executed and then jump through televisions, and it ruined my love for horror back in 1990. Fuck you, Wes Craven. May you rot in hell, you dirtbag son of a bitch.
I thought you were talking about Faces
see,
of Death
Matt,
for a second.
No, Faces of Death is awesome. Hell, if you ever saw the knockoff Faces of Death, it was even better. Dude, I would rather watch The Notebook than watch Shocker ever again.
I got extra copy of Norbit you can borrow.
I'm an old
It's gotta be
married
painful
man.
for you
I'm
too,
an old
because you
married
said that,
man.
you know.
I like The Notebook. I'm an old married man. I like The Notebook.
All right, I don't know who we're going to upset by this,
but I do.
I don't know who I'm going to offend by this, but Herm, do you know how I know you're gay?
You like the Notebook.
I'm all right with that.
So I'm
All
gay
right,
too.
fair enough.
It's one of Nick Cassavetes' best movies. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
Fair
not.
enough.
I don't go in on the soft shit, but
It's all good.
I like The Notebook. I'll say it.
When I ran upstairs, I came up other than what is your favorite horror movie? My question for both of you, ladies first, would be if you could make the perfect horror film, how would you make it? Starting with Kelsey, we'll work to Michael after.
How would I make it? I don't know.
It's vague.
I'm a broke actor. It wouldn't get done.
I would make
Or are
it
we
use,
asking what it would be about?
OnlyFans. That's my only option is OnlyFans. And
Right.
that's how
yeah.
I'd have to
I
fund
mean,
it.
like, how would you get it funded, or how would you film it, or
I'll modify the question for you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Lynch,
What
please.
is there a specific genre
There you go.
that you would pay tribute to the most? Like, are you a Giallo fan? Are you a Rock'em Sock'em kind of slasher girl? What's your
I don't know. I think I would do a mixture of like psychological and just balls to the wall, gory, just slaughtering everybody. Just a little mixture of both.
my kind of girl?
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Lynch. Michael, what? Same question.
Well, I'm making the one I'm making right now is one where I feel like I'm trying to make the ultimate horror film, or what I feel is the ultimate horror film, which is
That's what I would say.
something that's not afraid to be dramatic, not afraid to have well-developed characters, but also have the crazy gore and the shocking horror stuff going on. I like to put it all in together. I really like demonic horror. I like any horror involving demons. So that's where I lean, but I like to mix other genres with that, like that's why with this one I'm mixing demons with ghosts and with psychological horror.
Well, this is like your opus. I mean, this is your adult lifelong dream coming to fruition, right?
Yeah, and it's 3 movies altogether, so
Right.
each movie addresses an entirely different theme. So they were once all one movie, and they were never going to work as all one movie. But once I split it into a trilogy and I could explore each theme, it made it much more possible. And I seen an opportunity to make an original franchise, an original trilogy, instead of some sequel or
instead of an original movie with two
Right.
rehashed recooks.
And each one's got a specific theme. I mean, that's
And well,
nice.
that also gives you a chance, Michael, to spread your wings with as far as genre. You can make the next one a little bit different and still tell the same story.
Yeah,
because the themes are very important. The themes that dictates the tone.
Yeah, and I'm inspired by multiple horror films, but once I see myself resembling something else, I resist that.
Right, because you want
to original with everything.
You want to speak in your own voice, and that's why I appreciate some of the younger horror directors coming up now, like Ty West. He pays homage to a lot of horror directors, but it's his own. As much as it pains me to say it, Jordan Peele is doing the same thing. Not a huge fan of his movies. Some of the messages and stories he's trying to tell are very impactful. To me, they don't quite work as a horror movie. It's just my personal opinion.
Is more psychological thriller.
Right, and they try to market it.
There's very little gore in anything here.
No, but it's psychological horror, but they market it as like a straight up horror movie, which is very weird. The marketing for those movies is weird.
Unfortunately, and I'd like to hear Michael's weigh in on this, but you can, for the masses, the market, the commercial for a horror movie and the commercial for a psychological thriller can almost just it's a trailer. The trailers are very formulaic. You want some of the best,
and they spoil the entire fucking movie.
And you know what I mean? And they put some of the best parts of the movie just enough together to make you go, I gotta see that. But because of the fear and the tension level that both types of movies create, I feel that you can run the same style of commercial all the way around because it that tension.
Well, horror movies are inherently difficult to market because they're horror movies. I mean, well, like what demographic are you going for? There's older horror geeks like me in my 50s.
The 80s added tits and ass. And that's the entire reason we added tits and ass.
Appreciatively so. Thank you, Friday the 13th.
Absolutely. Loved it when I
gotta
was
10. Good, please continue.
But it was tits and ass is what they figured out pulled that genre in. And respectfully, a small amount of sex in the industry straight up sells, bro. A little bit. It's a nice sprinkling of parsley. You don't have to go full on horror, but sex sells, so fuck it.
I wish I could remember what the name of the film was that I saw the trailer for when I went and saw The Iron Claw in December. And it was a horror film, and I was absolutely like, oh my God, I have to see this film. And now I don't even remember the name of it. Again, and that's maybe where I fell off in the last 34 years, is that to me, you have to give me a story. And Michael and Kelsey, what you guys are telling me now is that there's a really good story attached to this film that I want to watch it. But if I can't remember the name of this film that I just saw the trailer for in December and now we're in May, I fell off. There's something wrong with the genre. Do you guys agree that maybe it's become too commercialized?
Yeah, I think it's too many people trying to copy other films, too many people trying to follow trends instead of trying to do their own thing. it's hard to be original sometimes, especially in the studio system. The studios don't want anything original. They want something they've seen before and that's been tried and tested.
Scream 7.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what though? It to Herm's point, it puts asses in seats, and I get that. I understand that. Every business is in business to stay in business, and Hollywood is a business, so they don't want to see their money going to waste. And I get the studio systems want a ROI; they want return on investment. That means if it's making another version of Texas Chainsaw in space, so be it. Go ahead and do it. I won't watch it because to me, it's just a waste. Yeah, it's a waste of my time.
Yeah. Did anybody else watch Chud?
Yes, I did.
Man.
Wait.
Daniel Stern in one of his first movie appearances.
Oh, if you ever get a chance, watch Chud. The second one kind of blows, but watch Chud. I like fucked up horror movies that most
Cannibalistic humanoid
human underground dwellers.
dwellers. Yes,
There you go.
It's
Chud.
it's lovely.
I remember a kid in my neighborhood who went to see that movie, and I was like, "You went and saw Chud? What does that mean?" And he said, "Creatures hiding under dirt." I'm like,
Close.
Wait,
It's
what?
close.
Well, well, technically you are. That could.
What you said is a true statement. However,
That's
those
true
words do not.
statement. However,
Those
you
are
are
not the right words.
Shane, if you're out there, I'm sorry I blew up your spot.
Has anyone seen Bad Milo?
Yes.
Yes.
I love that just a little tiny creature crawls out of this guy's ass and avenges all the people that wronged.
Yes, it's
It's probably
really
one of the.
fucked up concept
Sounds
of
like
a
some of the
movie.
other films I've
When you
seen,
think
but it wasn't
about,
Bad
like,
Milo.
This dude just crawls out of kills everybody.
One of the most enjoyable
What?
90 minutes of my life lately. Yeah, dude, watch it. I stumbled upon it by.
He literally
stumbled-
lives in a guy's ass, and he comes out of the guy's ass, kills people, and then returns to the guy's ass. That's where he lives. Like, if he was a genie, this guy's ass would be the bottle. Watch the movie.
I found it completely by accident. A friend of mine
Bullshit.
and I
You
were
searched
talking
it,
about.
deliberately.
No, we were talking about it online. He's like, "Dude, you got to check this out," and I
No, it
forgot
is.
about
It's
it.
a really fucked up movie.
That's
I
hard
found
ass.
You
I'm
go to, look, you go to watch it, and you're like, "There's no way
No.
this can be good." And
I'm
then
having a
you're
fucking
30
stroke.
minutes in, and you can't turn the TV off.
Yeah.
You're like,
Somebody
no,
send me the title
no,
of that
I'll go
movie.
to-
I'll
no.
watch it tonight.
I'll go to the
If
second.
God.
I'll go to the second mass. I'm watching this movie right now.
If I'm in a
What-
Suncoast, if I'm in a Suncoast video store in 2002 and I see that box and I turn around and the back card tells that story, I'm not renting it. I'm fucking buying that movie. 'Cause that's gold.
You've
Just
already
that is
bought
left
it.
side-
That
the
is
left
fucking
side-
gold right there.
principle.
The left side of my face is currently drooping right now. I'm just letting you know.
It's all right.
having a
It's all right.
stroke.
You can
This
have
is-
a stroke. Literally, just like Bad Milo. That's all you're. That's all you're looking for.
Bad Milo, is that the name of the film?
That's
Yeah,
the
Bad
name
Milo.
of the film. Bad
But
Milo.
But Michael's point, that's original. That's kind of.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch
original
2 dozen
idea.
of those. I'd rather watch 2 dozen of those back to back, out of 24, 13 are okay, than 1 or 2 big studio movies that I've seen since 2002. I don't want to see 2002. I want to see what
Am I
2024.
spelling this correctly?
Yes, that is perfectly
That is.
so.
That's how you Google it. Yep.
Which
Will not
which
be-
subgenre
Google,
does that
Google
fall
my
under?
ass.
It's horror.
That's
Falls under horror.
this falls right into
Yeah,
your
which
real.
subgenre?
Like, you know
of
how
horror?
you know how like
Tonight's entertainment.
Ass.
what's the movie
Horror.
with Jim Carrey and he's God? You know how when he looks at him and says, "No, go home, little butt monkey." That entire line in that movie is the entire concept for Bad Milo.
So
That whole scene is literally. I'm pretty sure he pulled it from Bad Milo. I'm telling you.
so
Ugh.
it falls right into your wheelhouse. It would be midgets that live in people's asses horror.
See, that's right in your wheelhouse.
No,
the
that-
midget
no,
part
that-
is not the people's
It-
asses.
Well, it covers my wheelhouse too with asses. I like asses.
I was going to
This
say,
isn't
you're
gonna be
talking
a
about
double
Marsh
date.
now.
Yeah. But
This
no,
isn't
going to be dinner in a movie
For
link.
real, like It is.
Oh,
It's an excellent movie. You have to just
It sounds like one of those movies that Joe Bob Briggs freaking narrated on like
Oh,
USA Late Night.
absolutely. That
no-
was a drive-in theater.
Joe Bob Briggs has some of the best fucking taste
He does.
in horror movies
Yeah.
on the fucking planet. I swear. I'm not saying he's the be all end all, but
No, but he had some.
homeboy knows some horror movies, bro.
We got 13 minutes left. I want to throw some love
I'll
to
put Bad
our
Milo on.
two
Hold on.
fantastic guests. No, I'm going to put Bad Milo. Look, I got it written down. I'm going to look that up on Amazon. If I have to spend $4.99, I'm watching that shit tonight.
So
Let's
going
go
back
to
to
again. Oh, here we go.
no, going back to actually talking about how the sausage is made.
Oh,
Talk to me about not that kind of sausage. Talk to me about the effects in the film. Practical. Was there anything? Was there a set piece in the film that you had written that you're like, oh shit, how the fuck am I going to pull this off?
Yeah, it's all practical effects by Robert Bravo. He's a
Nice.
very good makeup artist.
Michael,
Oh,
where
there-
do you base out of? I mean, are you part of a film community, or
No, I'm in the Los Angeles area, which
okay?
I don't think I'll ever make a feature film here again. It's way too expensive.
You don't know.
Come to Connecticut, it's cheap. And you
Come
get
to
a tax break.
Colorado, bro.
I mean, I have friends,
You're
you know, in
real
the Phoenix
close.
area
You're
that
real
do
close.
stuff.
You can live. You. I got room here. You come to Colorado. It's all right. We got room.
Yeah,
got
when
room.
I said that, you said I ain't got no room.
Oh, not for free. I
What
mean,
were you
you know,
bringing to
like,
the table?
I already got a guy named. Mike Hernandez that mows the lawn. That's the only thing I need. Everything else is me. I'm good. You know.
You got a guy named Chris Burns who'll mow your lawn for cheap.
He lives in my
Not that
shed.
cheap.
He lives
Yeah.
in my shed. We're gonna call him
Anyway.
Bad Chris.
Let-
You guys are literally
I
killing me.
quit. I quit. Before we go, Kelsey, can you tell where the people can find you on the socials and follow your career?
Weren't you just at a something? I follow you. You were just somewhere like really fucking cool, and I saw it. I just don't remember. where.
I'm never home, so I'm always somewhere.
That was
uh,
my idea. Do you have are you in a relationship?
I'm sorry.
Are you in a relationship?
She's married, dipshit.
No,
Her
no,
husband
no,
was in the comment
I'm not.
section.
It is. I understand. I'm just being safe. All right, so
He's
like
helping
my
his boy,
question-
his single boy. He's helping.
like you
So
are all over the place. I figured that out since this kind of how difficult is that on a stable home life relationship? Like your husband must be a saint the way that my wife is a fucking saint for dealing with my shit. But you're like
Duh.
constantly like, your job has got you all over the goddamn
Yes.
place. Like how
it-
difficult is that? Like, ugh.
it's difficult. It's not easy for sure. He's also an actor, so that does help. So he gets it. He gets the hustle and he gets
Right.
the,
That's good.
we kind of just have this like mutual agreement that like we are not gone. If we're gone multiple weekends in a row, that we're at least home during the week to like reconnect and all of that stuff. Like he just went with me. We were in Kansas City at a tattoo convention. So I set up a booth and sell prints and DVDs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I do horror cons and that, and then I also film. I am also a photographer, and we own a metaphysical shop. So I kind of the Jane of all trades, the master of none.
A lot of irons in the fire.
But as far as like the social media question, the easiest thing to do is type allmylinks.com/Mischief the Clown official, and that has everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X,
Nice.
or whatever the hell it's called now.
The platform formerly known as Twitter,
Yeah, IMDb,
Like
all
Prince.
that stuff is on there. So
like Prince.
Yeah.
And Michael, for you, where can the people find you on socials?
Just search up my name, Michael Pickle, or The Dead Place. I'm gonna be bugging everybody once it gets closer to release, so I'll be promoting a lot coming up.
And I'm
Yeah,
going
you're
to throw this out here to the panel and to you two. Once the movie is released and we all get a chance to watch it, you two lovely people come back and we are going to talk about the film in its entirety and have a really, really good time. Because I'm going to tell you, as not a non-horror fan since 1990, I'm looking forward to this film. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to assume that D is doing some of your behind the scenes PR booking type stuff for you. Am I right, Michael?
Yes, Dee
All
Nervy
right.
is awesome. She's been
That's-
getting me on a lot of podcasts, working hard.
That's my girl. I've known her for over 10 years. She is great people. I'm in contact with her all the time. Yeah, absolutely. I will keep in touch with her and we will bring them back and talk about how it's going after the release of the movie. And I'm sure we're going to want to discuss the movie.
Okay.
So that'll make another great show. But yeah, D is great people. Shout out to Miss D. And yeah, absolutely. That's great shit.
Kyler in the comments section says, all my favorite actors in it, so it's going to be a blast. Absolutely. Look, dude, I'm looking forward to this film. I'm not going to lie. I came into this thinking I was going to be bored. I was far from bored. This was incredible. Thank you both so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And
this is
Michael,
pretty
I want you to send me those
show.
band names. I want to listen to that music.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
like
me too.
are you going to be releasing? Is there any way we'll be able to scallions? Is there any way? Sorry, my wife just.
That's a safe word.
Yeah,
Wife
Kumquat.
is fired.
Scallions, pineapple.
it's the safe word. I
Pineapple juice.
have midgets tied up in the shed. No, it's for dinners.
No. Do all blue Mexican hat dance.
I have no idea where the fuck I was going. With
Going to fucking hell.
We were talking, Herm.
Okay.
Where was I?
Herm, breathe in, breathe out. We were talking about music. We were talking about the film.
Yeah, is there
Soundtrack.
is there any way we can? We're as severe music fans. Is there any way we'll be able to get the music and the scores on a CD? As
Yes, it's, especially with Will Love from Sabosa Pur doing the score. I want to put a really good soundtrack together with all the music and then the score in between.
yeah, because
So
like
that's
we'll make a
definitely-
whole show just out of the soundtrack.
All right.
Yeah, because we fucking love music.
We do music. Yeah, we've done plenty of music shows. We would totally make an entire show. Yeah, just
If,
out of the soundtrack.
Cool.
Give me 1 second.
Before-
I'm not one. I've never been one to name drop, but I'm going to do this now. Hold that thought.
So
I'm just
real
going to go
quick,
to my
Michael,
contacts.
what was your band that you were previously in before you got into the horror gig?
It was called Upgrade. It was progressive
Upgrade.
metal. band.
Upgrade. I'm looking that up.
Yeah,
I'll
Lizzie
She was
have
in my
to,
phone. Lizzie Borden is in my phone.
I'll have to look up that. After
The Master of Disguise.
Yeah, you can see us performing on YouTube. Go look for Upgrade. Lean Towards the Spiteful is one of our songs. You can see us performing
Okay.
on there.
On
Nice.
what platform did you say?
on
Upgrade.
YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube's.
Lean towards the what?
Lean Towards the Spiteful.
Lean towards the spiteful.
Upgrade.
Heard.
Heard.
spiteful.
Sorry, that's 35 years of restaurant.
Yeah. Heard. So
I'm looking it up now.
Matt, anything rolling around your head for the last couple of minutes? You got
Lean
anything?
toward the
No, I'm good.
spiteful. Is that the
I
name
had
of
my
it?
questions. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've already got it. I'm ready. I'm going to do it
I
as soon as we're done.
Going along with what Chris said, I mean, I agree. I mean, coming into this, I mean, I was interested, but this isn't really my genre. But I really enjoyed listening to this, and this will be the first horror movie I've watched in many years.
It's good to get a convert once in a while.
Well, I don't know about all that, but since we've been talking about it, I'm interested, especially since, it's a passion project. So he's clearly put, his heart and soul into it. And it's
Absolutely, man.
It's not like he's just phoning it in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm definitely interested.
It's
Well,
his
that was
baby,
what got
and
me interested is when Dee got a hold of me. She's like, it's really his passion project. I got to be honest, bro. She sold the shit out of it. She was like,
Nice.
I was like, yeah, we'll totally do that. That'd be awesome on the show. And then she was like, I got another guest for you. I got 2 for you. And I was like, wow. Nobody's ever booked somebody and then been like, yo, I'm gonna throw in an extra guest. But wait, there's more. It was really good. She is selling the shit out of you, and yeah, it's really good to watch her also have the same passion to sell it that you had to make it. It's awesome.
Good shit.
Really good
That's
shit.
really good shit.
Like you could tell that there was there was a lot invested in all of it.
Right.
Yeah, and this is a beginning of a relationship that I hope that lasts, and we can go along on the ride with you, because that's an interesting perspective to have. Watch somebody go from a dream throughout. Hopefully, let's boost this guy's career, man. This is fucking awesome. I love this shit. We're like getting in on the ground floor.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very, very good shit. Guys, this
So
was
if
an
you'll-
awesome show.
Yeah,
If you'll
thank you guys
allow
for coming
me-
on.
Thank you so much to Michael and to Kelsey. And I'm not trying to lick her ass or anything, because, what's her husband's name? Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't
He
want
looks big.
Steve to get all up. We don't want Steve to get all up
That
in my
would be
business.
assault.
Stop it.
He's,
I'm not
he's-
licking her.
That would be
I'm not.
assault.
All right.
Stop it. I'm not licking her ass or anything, but thank
You need a
you,
little
Kelsey.
decorum here.
Stop it. Can you let me finish the point?
No.
No.
Thank you for putting on the makeup, the context,
Yeah.
the whole thing. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for walking us through everything you've done with this film. It has been incredible. I love to find out how the sausage was made, and my light just fell. I really don't give a shit. I'm just going to tell you, as a film buff, I'd love to hear how the film gets made and the things that are behind the scenes. So thank you so much to both of you.
Yeah, we were
For
always
walking
into the
me down that
VH1
road.
Behind the Music series, so we want to know what's going on behind the movie, and that's it. Straight up.
All right.
Basically,
Absolutely.
yes.
Hey, Horace, your screen is black.
He's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
because
Oh,
I
there
picked
he
up my
is.
light.
he's
Oh.
working on it.
No, I wanted to see you bend
Not
over
every,
for
not,
a hot second.
not everybody
didn't.
can have perfect lighting like you guys.
Hey, man.
I've got
Man.
studio lights in here, so
Of course you do.
you guys know I don't chintz on that shit.
Go big or go home.
For the guys on DJ, once we end, I have to give you an update on next week. There's a slight problem with our guest next week.
All right.
However,
All right, then.
it could still happen. But again, I can't thank you two enough. This has been awesome.
www.thedeadplace. Look it up. Keep looking it up, and keep an
Yeah,
eye
like
on
indeed.
when this is going to hit.
You can find it all over the place. It's on all of the socials. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. You can find both of these guys on Instagram. You can find Michael on Facebook. There's groups for the movie, discussing the movie on Facebook and on other platforms. Yeah, there's a lot of talk and a lot of people talking and a lot of people waiting for the hopefully the release in August. So yeah, we're all it's definitely very exciting.
With that, we
Thank you
say
so much.
goodnight and behave yourselves if you can.
No.
Tonight
Will this be the first horror movie where the black guy doesn't die first?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.